Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about 4 of my favourite inspiring businesswomen who have helped me in my own business, either personally or just because they exist, and basically what they do and what their offering is and how it's helped me. So let's just get straight into it. I'm going to start with just the order that I have the tabs open in my computer. So I'm going to start with Melanie. Her website's called Melanie J White. And so Mel is an coach for coaches. Oh, look, there's my Zoom screen. That's exciting. She works for Wellness Coach Australia, and I actually started, she's my coach, and so that's what she does. She coaches people, and she also trains coaches, and she has a podcast, and she does all kinds of really good things. But so I work with Melanie directly. She's my coach, and I just love working with her. She does what I would call pure coaching, which is following the principle that the coach is just there to ask questions and to guide the coachee or the client to make empowered choices. So that's like pure coaching is basically the coach just asks questions and the client finds their own solutions and, gets their own head around it. And so what the coach does, because that sounds like, oh my God, I'm not going to pay someone just to listen to me. But the coach practices active listening. So they reflect back what you've said to them. They may paraphrase it, or they might say it back in exact words. And they also ask questions. So I think what makes Melanie a great coach is that she just knows what question to ask when. And it just, if you haven't ever experienced coaching, I would encourage you to, do one of those free discovery sessions with someone who you like their vibe, because I have found coaching to be really, really powerful. And when I noticed that it worked, like when I had my most profound insight about coaching was I was exchanging coaching sessions with a friend and a colleague. And so I was practicing my coaching skills, and I realized that I was just asking her questions. Like when it was my turn to coach her, I wasn't telling her what to do. I wasn't doing anything to her. I was just listening, and I was asking her questions to help that I just was either interested about or that I felt like needed to be asked. And I just watched her walk herself through her own process of inspiration, coming up with ideas, finding strategies to work through the challenges that she was facing. And that's when I understood, oh, that's what I also get out of coaching. I figure out my own problems. I come up with my own solutions. I get super empowered. And as a business person, I don't have a workplace to go to and hang out with colleagues. So I use coaching for that as a bit like because Melanie runs group coaching. So that's kind of my colleagues, but it's also my boss in a way. Like allow myself to be accountable to her or myself through her and those sessions. So what how she works is you can do coaching sessions with her, but also she has a monthly membership called The Habitologist. And I think that you can just get that through her website, through the Get Coached tab. And it's super affordable. She's got multiple live coaching calls per month. And I'm literally just hung up on this. This is what helps my business to grow, helps me to stay sane, because I could talk about business or personal stuff, well-being stuff, anything. The coaching model is really broad, and really any challenge that you're facing, the coaching model can help you with. So you can also check out her podcast on iTunes called Habitologist. I just love her. I loved being part of that membership, and it really keeps me super inspired, motivated, accountable. I get a workbook every month and daily activities. It's just hung up. So that's my first one. Let's see who's next on the hit list. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, pardon me. Ah, wonderful. So the next woman on my tab is Brooke Castillo. Now, I found out about Brooke, actually, I think through Mel, because Mel taught me the model, which is this CTFAR. This is Brooke's main teaching tool. And she has a podcast. Let's see if we can get to it on this website. Oh, there it comes. Okay, so she's got a podcast called the Life School Podcast. And, the Life Coach School. podcast. Anyway, I started listening to these from number 1, and I'm nowhere near through it. I mean, she just has been going for years. And so there's 285 currently podcasts that you can listen to. And what I love about Brooke is, you know, when you kind of find someone who's already famous who rants about the same stuff that you rant about, that's kind of how I feel about Brooke. There's ways that she is that I just already am, and so I really enjoy that confirmation. But because she is so successful, and because she's got such a great following and she's really nailing the business side of it, I guess I see her as an inspiration, like someone I can look towards. Oh, like if you do think like this and you take it and you really take it to the next level, you really can achieve. Because I guess sometimes I start thinking that way and I think, oh, being Australian, I get the whole, oh, I'm just being kind of stuck up, or pardon me. And maybe it's not even being Australian, maybe it's being a woman or whatever it is. I get thoughts like, oh, who do I think I am? Just trying to be so big boots, and why can't I just be happy with what I've got? And then I see someone like Brooke who's really successful and I think, yes. So there's that podcast, and there is another podcast of hers that I loved, and that was called How to Be a Life Coach, I think. But she seems to have shelved that. Pardon me. If you can get your paws on that podcast, I really recommend it. It's like a business course from podcast 1 right through to 34. It just takes you step by step of how to set up a coaching business, or you can use it for a service-based business. So I love Brooke Castillo. I mostly follow her via her podcast, but I also follow her on social media. I click follow first. So in Facebook, she always shows up at the top of my feed and gets me really inspired and pumped up. And Instagram, she shows up in my Instagram as well. So, but I do recommend the podcast. She's a boss. I have checked out her scholars for 1 month, but I've decided to put all my eggs in the Melanie basket. I find if I follow too many people and I get really diluted, and what really serves me is to really laser focus down and just keep focused on one coaching style or one principle, and try not to dilute myself too much. So Brooke Castillo, she's amazing. Follow her, listen to her podcast, check her out. She's a boss. Next on my list is Tash Corbin. And now Tash she's got a massive Facebook group called the Heart-Centered Group. Heart-Centered Soul-Driven Entrepreneurs. So it's got a lot of people in it now. And when I very first started my business, my good friend Trish Everett suggested to me to check out one of Tash's webinars, because I was thinking about having a business and I just wasn't sure how I could make it work. And so I did this program, Tash's Takeoff program, and I think I'm actually on her testimonial. I think I'm on her testimonial page because I did it and I just love it so much. So this is a great program for people who are at the very beginning of their business, or they're just not fully booked. Like if you want to get fully booked, here I am, classic. If you want to get fully booked, which I recommend as an excellent first goal for your business, then using Tash Corbin's process is really great. She's for women only, which, you know, I'm down with that. I'm fine with being female only. I guess it just, for some women, they do feel intimidated by the male marketing energy. And so it's a really safe place just to hang with your chicks and learn a lot about how to set up your business really lean. So she's not saying, it's not a high expense. It's not like a $10,000 program. It's like about $1,000 or something close to that. So it's not about having to invest a lot. She's not pushing you to run a lot of Facebook ads. She's basically teaching you how to set up your business, how to start getting clients, and how to start making money really quickly. She doesn't really advocate for free sessions. She's more like, just do a really low cost session and just start paying. It's that energy exchange when someone pays, not start paying, start earning. There's a different kind of energy exchange when someone pays. So she has her group, which is where I recommend hanging out with her initially. And then do one of her webinars, do the Fast Day Money Challenge, check her out. She's got loads of amazing freebies. She's really fun. She's Australian. I do find her really inspiring because, again, she's quite successful and she's just being her real gorgeous self. And on her group programs, she is very high touch, so you do get to hang out with her and chat with her. Yep, she's great. She gives loads. And what I love about her most, well, I know her. I've done her program. I've hung out with her. She's invested in my business and she gives a lot. It's a really great process, and the Heart Center group is so fun. A lot of my clients I've met through the Heart Center group, so I would check that out. And my number 4 is a recent one for me. A lot of my friends know about Leonie Dawson and have been on about her for yonks, and some of my clients as well, and I've just been like, oh yeah, I just haven't been drawn to her. And then suddenly I'm just like, boom, me and Leonie are just down. I think part of it is because she's artistic and she's got this beautiful, she's got her artwork on her website, which I find really inspiring, and I would like to shift my site over to this a bit more. She's just fully herself. She's a total legend. I haven't actually bought anything of hers, but you know, she's got some cool 40 days to create and sell your e-course. She's got another one, 40 days to a finished book. Like, she's got a bunch of really cool stuff that she offers. And where I mostly hang out with her is I see her on Instagram. I love having her in my feed. I always check out her stories. She is a classic. She swears at least as much as I do, which I love. And yeah, I'm really inspired by her authenticity and her artistic, you know, how much she lets her art and herself come through in her marketing of her business, and that she's made, you know, a bunch of money. That's really inspiring. She's really fun. She keeps me inspired by just being fun, and I love it that she shows up in my social media feed. So those 4 women are my current favorite business women, and I would love to hear who really gets you inspired. If you want to pop that in the comments or drop me a message and let me know who really inspires you and keeps you going on your business journey. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like this, you could subscribe, and then when I create a new video, I'll pop up in your YouTube feed. If you really want to know when I release a new video, you can hit the notifications button, and then I will literally ring at you when I make a new video. YouTube will bling at you. And if you liked it, you could give it a thumbs up, but no pressure. Whatever works for you. If nothing else, drop me a comment, let me know. I love answering comments, and I hope you have a beautiful day. See ya.